One CPC project, one cheap personal computer, part 4, by doctorant engineer economist Robert-Bela. One CPC proposal, summary for part 4, one CPC in the engineer and programmer view, one CPC in history in the socket view, one CPC production technology, one CPC list of needs to realize this project, one CPC backward compatibility, one CPC compatibility, one CPC production technology used, one CPC in the engineer and programmer view. Even if it looks terrifying or threatening to some IT and or electronic companies, this product proposal and this concept is not a threat to them or their already existing product lines, nor their future ones. One CPC socket is a good opportunity for them too, to modify a little their products or make new products to be compatible with this socket. One CPC chip having an Intel or AMD x86 core and an ARM core in one package makes it compatible with the older x86 based programs and even with Android. A new generation of hybrid programs which use the reflexes, it means the instruction sets, of the Intel or AMD chips and the low power of the ARM can arise in time. These programs would give a good base for the future engineers and programmers to know both architectures well. In some applications, the ARM processor would be the companion core of the Intel or AMD processor, and in other applications it would be inverse. An integrated programming language will be needed in time, like Borland Pascal 7.0 or Borland C++ or better with some extensions. All the programming levels, from low-level programming, assembler or hex coding to the top drag and drop programming, has to be supported in time by the used programming language. Hardware and software co-design will be needed also in the future to optimize the power consumption by offloading specific activities from the microprocessor to other specialized parts. The power consumption is highly software dependent. Dear engineers and programmers, you need a reliable and simple hardware to make your research or product design in a unified way, unified programming language, and to have already trained future colleagues, the next generation of engineers or programmers. The problem is that the level of interest and the theoretical and practical knowledge of today's engineers or programmers is lower than several years before. Source: Scientific Computing World. One CPC may reverse this trend. One CPC in history in the socket view. Even once upon a time of Pentium 2, the Pentium, AMD and other companies' processors could use the same socket. Please see the next link. Socket 7 was the only socket that supported a wide range of CPUs from different manufacturers and a wide range of speeds. One CPC production technology. About the production technology, the one CPC chip should be realized using the 32 nanometer or 28 nanometer production technology. This is probably also the production technology of the RAM memory, what was used in the mathematical deduction. Producing on 28 nanometer is more preferable. List of needs to realize this project. The one CPC project and chip, of which description you have seen and will see in continuation, is only an idea. This idea to become a reality, people are needed first of all. People who want to and can help their nation and their poor people or their future colleagues. To become a reality, the older architectures of Pentium 3 12 or AMD equivalent or better, means newer architecture, only x86 based is needed. Is needed also the ARM architecture, any architecture or any generation from ARM2 above, ARM2 included. The help of JEDEC organization and any JEDEC member company's help will be needed to realize the RAM memory and the non-volatile memory. The ADC, DAC is also needed. Texas Instruments or any other company in this domain can help with this. The DSP also needed from TI or Freescale or XMOS or Seva or any other company. The GPU is needed from NVIDIA or AMD, ATI or Intel or any other GPU, Adreno, SGX, Mali designer company. The FPGA is needed from Xilinx or Altera or Atmel or any other company. The other components, LAN, sound, GPIO controller, IMC, USB controller, HDAC card controller, etc. is also needed. Other type of know-how is needed also. Please see next slide. From the helping companies, where they get their parts and materials, what they don't produce in their company, just buy them, tools and anything else they use. Also older or unused implanters, it means the SMT machines, company names where to buy the needed electronic components, older AOI, automated optical inspection machines, automated soldering systems called WAVE, etc. is needed. People are needed for creating and maintaining the future site of 1CPC, the future online forum and any other thing required for it. Example, order functional server. Sharing this video also helps a lot. As you can see, I am only presenting you the idea, but the realization is in our hands. This is an image of containing most of the 1CPC chips parts. One CPC backward compatibility. The 1CPC chip has to be designed to be backward compatible. The pins and the programs working on 1CPC generation 1 chip has to work on generation 2 chips too. Fixed architecture should be used for a long time, so software optimizations can appear for that specific architecture, and later the new programs should be able to use all the resources optimally on the chip. 1CPC compatibility. The chip should be reliable, robust, stable, but slower as compared to the existing chips. The OS, the operating system, has to be stable and compatible with x86 programs and Android programs or apps. And after a time, other programming languages should have a toolbox for translating the already written programs into a compatible and maybe optimized format code with 1CPC. 1CPC production technology used. At the base, 1CPC should have DDR3 architecture RAM memory, but GDDR5 memory architecture would be better. It has a native 32-bit wide data bus. 1CPC will stay out of the other company's way. Only the 32 or 28 nanometer fabrication technology will be needed, so the state-of-the-art better or newer designs under 28 nanometer will be used by their owners as nothing has happened. The FinFET technology of Intel Corporation, they can give the technology to the company that will realize the 1CPC chip. The future 1CPC non-profit organization does not require to have this new technology, only the processor architecture to be able to simplify it. So Intel can control its own technology, for example by a contract between Intel and the chipmaker company written specially for manufacturing of this chip. End of part 4. Thank you for watching.